This is Masterchef Ireland, the quarter-final. It's been a tough journey in the kitchen, and now only 6 amateur cooks remain.
Apple will not talk back. Can you just do it? Can you stop shaking, Mark? I told you, don't go over the edge.
These 6 contestants really know how to cook, but we need to find out today, Nick, who really deserves these semi-final places.
After the rigours of yesterday's 1 Michelin-starred kitchen, the 6 quarter-finalists are back to face Nick and Dylan, who will choose which of them goes through to the semi-final.
My first thought, if I'm being absolutely honest, was I failed this before I've even done it.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Your challenge today is to cook us a fine dining dish that celebrates the wonderful ingredients of the Irish Sea. This dish must show us why you deserve that place in the semi-final.
Hugh, will you please step forward? Yesterday, you handled the pressure extremely well. So as an advantage, you will receive first pick of the pantry. Okay. Your 10 minutes starts now.
From the tank, there is a choice, which includes crayfish, lobster, crabs and oysters.
The competition's starting to hot up now. We're in the quarterfinals with semi-final places at stake. And obviously the judges are going to be keeping a very close look at me today to see how I use this advantage. And if I don't perform to standards, they'll not take it very well.
In what could be a tactical move, Hugh avoids the many shellfish crustaceans in favour of the more limited selection of whole fresh fish available in the pantry. The featured ingredients in the pantry are sea bream, langoustine, gambas, tiger prawns, prawns and mussels.
You took all the basil.
It's a strange feeling just standing there and let Hugh go and take all the ingredients and seeing him picking some stuff that I would have liked to take and not being able to control what's happening and just hoping that you're left with something that you know how to use.
I had a dream about actually winning the competition, and I was up against Hugh in the final, and in my dream I won it, and I actually completely fall on the ground and bawled, crying, and this was the clearest dream, like most vivid dream I ever had. Maybe it will come true. Oh, God.
Diana is quick off the mark, determined to make that dream a reality.
Oh, dear God.
I've never plunged my hand in and taken live crustaceans out of a tank. I said, no, Kate, don't panic, Niamh. But I wasn't comfortable with that task at all.
For a couple of oysters. I'm not going under him anyway. Get up here.
Okay, guys, your cooking time starts now.
Getting the advantage of being first into the pantry meant that I was able to pick the primary ingredient that I wanted. The one ingredient that, when I saw them, was the sea bream, and I'm glad I got the sea bream. I didn't have experience of the shellfish, so it suited me. Some people had to, without a choice, cook shellfish.
I wanted to work with the 2 fish that were there. I would have been comfortable enough filleting the fish, and I had a couple of ideas for to do with fish, and Hugh took the first one, and then Diana grabbed the second one as soon as we went out. So I was a bit worried at that stage, but then I just took a step back and thought about what I was going to do with what was left.
Hi, Mark.
Hi, how's it going?
So what are you doing?
I'm going to do roast langostine's tails. I'm going to do a prawn ceviche, a carrot puree, a mint and lime leaf dust powder for the top. I'm trying to do a little bit more and then taste them as I go and see what are going to work together, because I'm not 100% sure about everything, because a few things I haven't done.
Then, yeah? So what have we got here? What are you planning on doing with that?
So I was going to do some small little cubes of sweet potato just poached to colour the outside, and hopefully when you get in, you get the nice orange colour on the inside.
OK. Good luck with the dish, and we'll look forward to tasting it.
Yeah.
The 6 contestants have 2 hours to convince Nick and Dylan that they deserve a coveted semi-final place.
Hi, Neve.
Hi.
How are you today?
This is an absolute challenge to me because I'm not comfortable with seafood. I'm not confident with processes. I'm not 100% sure how to fill it and do things. I'm just sort of doing it instinctively.
OK, let's start at the start, Neve.
OK.
What shellfish have you chosen?
I got langoustines, tiger prawns, and I also took mussels and oysters.
OK, so you're going to do a tasting plate with these now?
Yes, I'm making a tiny little soup. I'm going to do a tiny little prawn cake. I want it very delicate. The one thing that I've learned from the past few days is you don't have to feed in bulk. That's what I'm used to, because people are going out working on the farm or they're going off playing matches. So to me, this is completely different sort of mentality.
So basically, today we're looking for an elegant, tasty dish.
Yes.
Charlie selected a mixture of prawns, mussels and oysters for a cold seafood platter, and has his eyes set on a simple, well-executed plate of food.
I'm trying to display the ingredients just at their best. I'm not flashing it up with sauces or anything like that, because that was my downfall the other day, trying to bring a rich sauce into it. So I wanted to do a cold starter with really good ingredients, and also to show some techniques that I've gone from scratch: bread, butter, mayo as well. So.
Is this a fine dining dish?
Well, I suppose by description it's not a fine dining dish, but I'm going to do my best to make it present as a fine dining dish.
It's going to be served cold?
Yes.
OK.
All cold?
Yes.
Feeling confident?
Yeah, I'm confident in what I have going on here today. Not one of my strong points, fish, but I mean, obviously, as before, it's no excuse. I've invested a lot in the competition. My family has invested a lot in the competition. You know, I'm self-employed, and every day I'm not working, I'm losing money. So the longer that goes on, the harder it gets. And I suppose the more pressure I put on myself to eventually win the competition.
Give it a minute more.
I don't really know where he's coming from with brown bread and a seafood platter. That's not really the brief.
I just think he's feeling the pressure. Again, it's an ingredient that he's not used to, or he's not feeling it.
I don't like the way Charlie keeps taking simple options. It tells me that he doesn't have a big enough repertoire to be in the competition.
One cook intent on expanding her repertoire is Diana, cooking lobster for the first time.
I decided to go with something what I have no clue about. But I said I just have to push myself, and I'm only been cooking what I know, and I don't think it's the real push and real test if you're doing only what you know. I'm really trying to do something what is simple, but something that is delicious, flavors I like. I'm doing an orange and fennel salad. It's gonna be fresh, salady. The lobster will be the star still.
Is that cauliflower?
There's cauliflower and a little bit of fennel, shallot, tiny bit of celery. It's going to be a nice little puree. It's going to be very simple, but hopefully elegant, and the flavors will hopefully stand.
Adele intends to put a fine dining twist on her version of a simple seafood salad.
Hi, Dale.
Hello.
So tell us anything different about this crab and lobster salad?
The first lobster dish I did, I just put everything I knew about on the plate.
Yes.
And it was just a bit too much. So it's a bit like wearing all your jewellery when you go out. You know, it's not the best idea. So I'm going to try and keep it simple. And then the crab, obviously, was not one of my finer moments in Croke Park. So I'm going to crack it today. I'm hoping that it will be very kind of light and very fresh and summery. I have a lot to do, so I'm really going to have to push on, because I think it needs to be like a beautiful dish. It's for the semi-final, so I have to pull it off.
Thanks, Adele.
Thank you.
Good job, Adele.
Thank you.
There's inches between them all, and it could be anyone's day, and it just seems to be such an even keel. I mean, it's neck and neck.
That's a nice idea.
I'm hoping that that little just head time at the start will allow me to improve my plating up at the end. That's been a weakness of mine.
Hugh's dish will be pan-fried sea bream with red and yellow pepper relish, fennel puree and a citrus saffron sauce. But has he made the best use of his advantage at being first into the pantry?
It's all quite soft then.
Well, it's a meaty enough dish, it's a meaty enough fish. And I've got some roasted tomatoes as well, so the crispy bit is going to be the skin.
Okay, all right.
All sounds to me quite safe. But, you know, we did ask for a simple, fine dining-ish dish. I'm just hoping that he's going to pull it off.
Coming up next.
You're starting to prove that you're not that much of a fluke.
One person could be going, two people could be going. We don't know.
It's good enough to end in the semi-final.
With a place in the semi-final at stake, the brief for the 6 remaining cooks was to create a fine dining dish that showcases the very best of ingredients from the Irish Sea.
How beautiful is that?
Okay, guys, you have 5 minutes left.
I think if this dish is executed well and put on the plate nicely, it's good enough to end in the semi-final.
With only moments to go, not everyone shares Mark's confidence.
I just panicked. I just lost my way. I didn't even know how I'm going to play it up. I didn't have a plan.
Okay, guys, step away from your plate. Time is up. That's it, time, guys.
Diana, if you're ready, please.
The first dish to come before Nick and Dylan is Diana's lobster, with an orange and fennel salad and a cauliflower and fennel puree.
You okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Why?
I was taking a risk today.
Come on. Come on, it's okay, it's okay.
I can understand why you're upset,
Yeah.
right? But it's not all doom and gloom. That's the reality. You're crying because you really want to succeed, okay? And that's fair enough. The components you've used, the ingredients you've used really do work well together. But I suppose the negative on my side is the fact that it is big, it's huge, okay?
We're looking for a fine dining dish.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not. It's not. And do the flavours of fennel, orange, lobster, all that, oyster? No, it doesn't for me at all. And there's no doubt of your talent. Today just didn't go your way.
Thank you. I knew it doesn't look right, doesn't taste right. It's just not my day, bad day in the office. I'm very scared that this is going to be over, and I don't want it to be over.
To secure her place in the semi-final, Adele is serving a lobster and crab salad with samphire, seaweed and asparagus, a chicory and cashew dressing and fennel crisps.
Okay, well, first of all, I think it looks very pretty, it's very dainty, it's very colourful, it's very inviting, and you want to delve into the plate. So it's that, for that respect, I think you've really had a good eye for detail today.
Okay.
You've chosen some really light ingredients. The asparagus, the samphire, the seaweed. I love the lobster and the chicory. I love the way you've balanced this dish. I think it's really, really, really tasty, really light. I'd gladly pay for it. So you're starting to prove that you're not that much of a fluke and that you can really cook, to me. Well done, Adele.
Thanks, Adele.
Thank you.
I knew today that I had to pull it out of the bag again to prove I deserve my place here.
Hugh's dish is pan-fried sea bream, pepper relish, fennel puree, fennel crisp, citrus and samphire sauce, and a semi-dried tomato. But has the advantage he was given paid off?
Are you happy?
I'm not happy with the way I've sauced that plate.
You were shaking a lot, huh?
Voices in my head, maybe, from the last day, I think.
I think your preparation of the sea bream is beautiful. I think the sweetness from the peppers really just explodes the flavors into your palate, so that's always a nice added touch. The only thing I would say is that there's too many peppers for me.
In terms of presentation, I think it's a good effort. I think it shows what you're learning. The only problem I would have is that it's a little over-seasoned. You can see that you're really pouring your heart and all of your love into your work. You're nearly caring, well, you can't care too much, but I'm watching your work and you're pouring it all in there and you can see it. Just watch the salt.
Thanks, guys. Both of the judges sort of see my passion for food coming through on the plate. I wish there was a separate passion chef prize, but this is Masterchef and it's not going to get you a title.
Now Mark with his shellfish extravaganza of pan-seared langoustine tails, prawn ceviche, poached potato cubes, carrot puree, a samphire sauce, and a lime and mint dust.
It's the first dish that I've put up that I was really happy with, that I created completely.
Presentation-wise, it's a little odd, to say the least. I know that you're learning, I know that you're advancing. I can see that you're full of enthusiasm. But for me, it's not as natural as it should be. It's just a lot, Mark. It's a lot. And all these flavors don't belong, and I find it quite confusing on the palate.
It's a weird one because it is quite wacky. There is some good and bad in that. I just think that to do an S with a puree, there's so many other ways you could have done it more cleanly and elegantly. Thanks, Mark.
Thanks. Definitely extremely frustrating that the top presentation was an issue again today, because I was happy with how it looked. I thought it looked really well.
Niamh has her own reservations about her prawn bisque, served with a miniature prawn cake and a centrepiece of whole langoustine.
What have you done? This sort of huge crustacean coming out of the depths of your soup. Like, you just went, oh, Niamh.
Are you happy?
One fatal error, I think. I never thought that, of course, the langoustine will have to be eaten and you'll have to take it out of the soup to do that, which is very messy. But really happy with the flavours.
Okay. I tend to agree. It also prevents it from being fine dining. One thing about fine dining is very often every detail of finish is done so that there is no work for you as a customer. Other than that, some really good flavors here. So, whatever mistake you've made with that big stupid prawn in the middle of the bowl, you've definitely compensated with some very clever cooking. The other problem I have is it's probably about the second or third soup I've seen you do, so
yeah.
This is the other thing.
Second one, yeah.
Second, okay.
What I like about you is your attitude and the way you're bubbly and you're talking about it and you love to do what you want to do. But I think what it was today is that you just didn't really know where you were coming from.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
I do wish you listened to the brief, though, because we don't have a lot of time left.
I know.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Niamh.
The final dish in the quarter-final is Charlie's seafood platter of oysters, steamed mussels, sea spaghetti and samphire salad with mayonnaise, homemade butter and bread.
So we have the oyster in the centre.
Yes.
Anything in the oyster?
No, I left the oyster just with its own liquor because to me, that's the best sauce you can have with an oyster.
Okay.
I think it should speak for itself.
Any lemon juice? Nothing at all?
Nothing.
There's no cooking here, really.
I think it's fresh, it's light, it's tasty. Your bread is perfect, lovely flavour, lovely taste.
Yeah, cold, light, simple, executed well. Just not sure how fine dining it is. And that was the brief. And I think that you've definitely given elegance to certain components, but I'm not sure if it says much more about your cooking though, Charlie. It's just relying on the ingredients a little too much.
I was probably the most nervous I've been standing in front of them because of last time. I really, really didn't want to get into that situation again. I'm desperate to stay in the competition.
One person could be going, two people could be going, we don't know.
I'm very worried that I lost it for myself. I'm very worried.
Everybody, no matter how good of a cook, will make mistakes. That's part of cooking. If there is no mistakes, there is no learning. But we have to be very critical.
Yeah.
There's so little in it between them all. Who is at the back? Who is going to benefit the most from the next task? When it comes to the final, who will give the rest of them a run for their money? Today, we asked you for a dish that would show us why you deserve to be in the semi-final. Diana, you chose to take a risk, but you lost your way.
Mark, you've come a long way, but your dish today was overworked and confusing.
Charlie and Niamh, the brief was to create a fine dining dish. We feel ultimately you failed to achieve this.
The next person to leave the MasterChef kitchen is... Mark. Thanks, Mark.
I was happy with the plate of food I put up today. I wasn't holding back. I wasn't worrying about what they wanted. So I am very disappointed to leave. I just think that if the dish they saw today wasn't to their liking, then my style isn't to their liking.
The next person to leave is... Charlie.
Thanks,
Thank
Charlie.
you.
It's a really, really high standard, and yeah, I'm proud of my achievement, but that doesn't take away from how disappointed I feel now tonight. I'm absolutely gutted to be going home now. I want to be involved.
Well done. You are 4 semi-finalists.
Well done.
Well done.
Well done, guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next time on MasterChef Ireland, the semi-final.
You will be cooking in my kitchen.
You need to stop speaking. You speak a lot.
Everybody knows what they're doing. It's like a machine in here.
You gotta go faster.
Show. Show.
It was one of the best things I'd ever eaten.
You could hear what Charlie and Mark